Before he became the USTP President, he is a simple little boy who lives in a simple Syrian home in Tibungsod, Magsaysay, Misamis Oriental. He is the fifth child among his 8 siblings. His father, Baldomero Cultura, is a carpenter. His mother, Gomercenda Balyadaris, is a full-time housewife.
Proud kayo ni sa imo. Pwede na expect na maabot nimo kining kataas na posisyon. Ikaw nga mo igsuon nga manggiulawon. Sa bata ka pa, buhilat ka kung paistoryahon and fun sa mga tao. Naakara kanunay sa balay, study, ug tabang sa mga buluhaton. Serious ka sa imong pagtuon. From grade 1 up to grade 6, honor pupil ka. Nag-graduate ka as salutatorian. Sa high school, naningkamot ka na ma-overcome ang imong pagkamag-iulawon. From first year to third year, first honor ka man. Kung nag-graduate ka, valedictorian. Maong proud kayo si Mama o Papa sa iyo.
Congrats, Brad DC, for being elected as USTP President. We are very proud of you. Wala ko mag-expect in-anin na ka taas ang imong naabtan karon. During imong elementary ug high school, serious kaayo ka sa imong schooling. In fact, gusto jud ka nga anaa sa honorless kanunay. Ug tungod man nakuha jud nimo ang straight first honor sa high school ug nahimo kang valedictorian bisan sa atong kalisod.
When he was in college, I know he is intelligent among us, and he is so dedicated in his study. One time, I brought vegetables and little amount. I know it's not enough for his need, but I never heard him murmuring. And also I remember that he wouldn't care if he could not eat at all. It was beyond our imagination. I'm proud of what he had achieved. Congrats, Brad Des. You really did a great job.
After his high school years, he continued his college years at Don Mariano Marcos Memorial Polytechnic State College, or DMNPSC, now called USTP. Because our president is good in math, his prowess in mathematics made him choose electrical engineering and his course.
I have seen Butch to be a smart person. Actually, I started to know him because we were classmates in our undergrad since 1985 until today. So ever since he came back from the US, actually what I can recollect from him is that he is not only smart but also very diligent in getting projects for our university, like the solar project in the LRC and also the renewable energy laboratory, and including the smart grid laboratories are all from him. And another project that he got while he was still, I think, BCRI at that time, was the renewable energy project for Camiguin. It's a huge project, involves cross disciplines. So that's one thing that I can say of him. Actually, in our class, often we have problems we cannot solve, and the person we can go to is Butch. He always has the solution to the problems we cannot solve. So just like today, oftentimes I refer to him things I cannot do, and he always has the solution to it. So I salute to Butch. one thing, napaisat po sa Taiwan when we were there. Ang iyang character is that he never stops doing the things that he needed to do until he accomplishes it. So I can say he's a very diligent person. And not just one thing, doing one thing at a time, but multiple things, many times. So sometimes tudlo pag yun siya faithfully. Very rarely absent siya, even if he is already high ranking sa atong university. But he never missed his class unless otherwise necessary. Lately lang, we were in Taiwan, I think, more than a year ago. Very funny because he forgot to bring his necktie with him. So I asked him to wear it because he's the president and he has to represent the university. He is so humble enough to take it from me and wear it for the university. So again, I salute him. Although he accomplished very much, already very high in his attainment and obtainment, but still very humble. Another thing I cannot forget is that if he doesn't know, he will ask questions. So that's why I appreciated him. Not only is he an inspirational leader, he also gives directions. I can appreciate also his foresight for the university, the depth of his thinking and planning, and also the wisdom on how to carry out what he has planned for the university. I'm really very grateful to be a part of the journey of our president. And it began in 1985, it's still continuing today. I hope it will still continue many more years to come. Congrats, Boots. I can say good work. Don't stop. So, inspire many more.
Nilumon man si Engineer Boots, si partner. In fact, I would never forget one of our meetings sa board of regents sa Manila. Like roommate me ni I was then the dean. He was the dean of the engineering and architecture, and we had a chat regarding the university. Manggay yung mga suggestions kay mamonimo na nagtutut kay mo mga panlantaw sa o kalipay ko nga nahibugit siyang presidente diha. Taga-amo na taga Misamis Oriental, taga Magsaysay mo siguro siya Magsaysay.
In 1995, he earned his title as Professional Electrical Engineer after passing the Philippine Government Licensure Examination. In 1992, he started his journey in USTP. That time, it was Mindanao Polytechnic State College. He started his humble beginning as a simple instructor in a temporary position. Later on, in April 1998 to 2002, he became the first dean of the School of Engineering and Architecture. He helped in the addition of more programs. So from 3 programs, it later became 6.
Sir Butch is my first supervisor when I got hired in this university as a research assistant. Sir Butch is a very supportive, kind, open-minded, understanding supervisor. He looks the welfare of his staff always. As I remember, she is a very kind, gentle supervisor. Kung naami kinanglan mga staff, he is willing to help. Kung naami urgent papermahan, bisag naa siya sa dalan, he always sign it. Dr. Cultura is a type of person that will defend his staff always. There was an incident happened that we made lapses in our work and his attention was called by the top management. When he returned to the office, he never scolded us, but instead, he gave us fatherly advice. He also a problem solver person. Whenever things get wrong, he always find ways to solve the problem. He didn't let his staff to solve the problem alone, rather help us to find the solution. The most challenging task that I encountered was during the Innovation Summit and the preparation for the documents for the search for presidency and his professorship. That was very tough and very stressful moment. I work whole day for the preparation of the Innovation Summit, and at night we'll work out his documents together with Mom staff and his wife, Ma'am Emily. Kana bitong kapoy na kay imong lawas of imong mind, but your heart still loves to work, to continue to work. This is because I am happy of what I am doing. It is my privilege to work with a dynamic person in this university. Thank you so much, Sir Butch, and congratulations.
Dr. Cultura was the Dean of Engineering and Architecture when I joined as a faculty member in this university in 1999. I have observed that he has been humble, calm, and kind. He is consistently a very reserved person, and most importantly, God-fearing.
He was assigned by the late President Ruturas to be the OIC Dean of the College of Engineering. But it's temporary since he doesn't have master's degree that time. So Dr. Cultura find ways to escalate his career development. So he tried to apply to a scholarship grant. He passed his application at Ford Foundation International Fellowship Program, and luckily, he passed the scholarship grant. He was chosen among the top 50 students worldwide to study abroad. He pursued his master's in energy engineering and was awarded graduate research assistantship grant at the Electrical Engineering Department at University of Massachusetts, Lowell, United States of America. Later on, he finished his doctorate degree in Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering in 2010 in the same school in USA.
Well, sa among experience sa US during his graduate studies, that was an unforgettable blessing. Many miracles happened. Naka-appreciate o nagpasalamat gayud ko sa akong husband kay bisan sa iyang kalisod sa iyang studies o kalisod financially, iyaming giuban o naka-stay me for more than 3 years. That was a big sacrifice in his part. Because while studying, natabangan pagid ko niya sa pag-atiman, sa pag-take care sa among children. Dili na ko ma-imagine kung giunsa niya pag-manage sa iyang oras. Bisan sa kalisod sa iyang mga courses, nahimo pagayod niya nga ma-manage ug nahimo siyang successful ug mao na ni siya karon. So I think the secret of that success is because God guides him all the way. All things are possible with God, and I praise and thanks him. As a father, he is compassionate and hardworking, and he always encourages his children to do the right thing. As a husband, he is committed, kind, and prayerful. He always finds time for me in spite of his very busy schedule.
So when he came back, he escalated to different promotions. In 2015 to 2016, he became the Vice President for Academic Affairs.
I worked with Dr. Butch Cultura during the time with his Vice President for Academic Affairs. I've known Dr. Cultura as an approachable person, approachable boss, a loving father to his children, a loving husband to mommies, family-oriented and God-fearing. Every time I saw Dr. Cultura, every time he arrived in the office, dool gina siya sa iyang altar. Kaya we have an altar man dito sa office. Mudool siya sa altar, tapos iyang dagkutan iyang kadila. So nakaingon ni nga, grabe good ka God-fearing ni Sir Cultura. It's an incredible experience to work under a boss like Dr. Cultura. Kay aside from naami mga urgent ka report, sir, kanang na-ask sa amo ang side to assist and then to give them advice nga unsa na mo pag double time sa amo ang mga effort sa pag-apas sa mga deadlines. Working above like Dr. Cultura is a great inspiration for me to modifying all my skills and talent. He's very approachable to the faculty, approachable for the walk-in clients, especially the parents' concerns. And then if there is a problem, then he call a meeting to the deans and then answer the problem, concerns or about the faculty's concerns or regarding their scholarship concern. I've known Dr. Cultura not only for a boss, sir, but he's friendly, like a brother to us, and then very approachable and kind. I saw Dr. Cultura also that every time there is a clientele visit in our office, he's always attending the colleagues. And then, isa lang na mo na ako kay Sir Cultura is very approachable sa mga students.
He was invited into different fora, conferences, technical seminars, and lectures as a resource speaker, sharing his expertise in the field of renewable energy, solar power, and others. Some of his notable achievements are: he published more than 10 research articles in different scientific journals in the field of power and energy engineering. He was granted more than 60 million pesos allocation for externally funded research projects. Among his notable contribution to the university was the project on the installation of grid-connected hybrid wind and PV renewable energy systems at the rooftop of the Learning Resource Center, which saved more than 1.2 million pesos in the university's electricity. He was also involved to different extension projects and community services. Later on, 2016, in the amalgamation of MUST to USTP, Dr. Cultura was appointed as the Vice Chancellor for Research and Innovation. He led initiatives on Innovation Summit that cater on the best talents of the university. It cultivates more than the interests of the students and faculty to be more indulged on innovations.
I started to know President Butch Cultura when we have this Technopreneurship Hub project from CHED together. Coming from the industry, I was exposed and was working with 2 previous technology companies, and having that experience, I know now the inner workings of how a tech company works. Having known also that the university has this project, the Technopreneurship Hub, where this is a program where the university train faculty and students the path towards entrepreneurship. This is where my journey with President Cultura started. Together, we have an immersion in the startup ecosystem in Singapore and as well as in the US, particularly in the Silicon Valley area and the UC Berkeley, and as well as in the Case Western Reserve University of Cleveland, Ohio. In performing this project, having known him as the champion for entrepreneurship and innovation program in the university, the members of this project don't have to work much because we know we have a champion like President Cultura. Thanks to President Cultura, it opens a lot of avenue to expand the innovation and entrepreneurship program of the university, knowing that he has our back. That project leads to the establishment of the commercialization office, where just recently we were able to successfully commercialize 4 technologies in the span of 1 year of the existence of the office. President Cultura's support on that endeavor is a big part for that success. We are now working hand in hand with the industry to solve their R&D related problems. That's again the agenda of President Butch Cultura and the next chapter of our journey with him.
We have financial constraints in implementing our plans and projects, particularly in the conduct of the Innovation Summit, but with the leadership of Dr. Butch as our viceroy during the time, we really internalize his passion towards this innovation. The trainings nga iyahang nakuha in outside the country shared with us ang iyahang spirit, ang iyahang enthusiasm. That is why we are into this innovative innovation ecosystem, and di ginako na malimtan. I cannot forget that his journey to become a president is wala na siya nitungha lang, but it's high time for this man buotan kayo but with complete accessories and qualifications to become a president. Dili lang siya kay maminaw but also provide the directions kung unsaon. That is why a lot of things nga wa na ko gyanahon nga mahimo, but na-deliver because of our leader. I told him, sir, di ra madugay will become a president because nakita na ako ang completos dekados. Not only as a leader, but as a researcher and of course, leading the innovation in which ang university is mo na iyang mission.
I've been working with the President for years now. I've worked with Dr. Butch for 3 years when he was still the Vice Chancellor for Research and Innovation before he became the President. And Dr. Butch, as a boss, he is very considerate. He's an independent boss and he's open to suggestions. He is very resilient as well because whenever he encounters problems and he thinks more of the solution on how he can resolve things. One of the most memorable things that I can remember when we were preparing the documents for his application for presidency, it was very tedious because there were just few people involved. But then I remember it was just me, Mama Maricel, and even Dr. Butch's wife is very hands-on on the preparation. And even Dr. Butch he's really hands-on on his preparation of all documents. It was tedious because there were a lot of documents to prepare. We spent sleepless night for that. But then it was worth it later on. I remember before the public forum for the search for presidency, he even went to the gym to see the setup and to run through his presentation. And we even offered him help, but he said, okay, Rakoday. He's very independent. And so when he became the USTP president, we were very happy, the team VCRI, because we think that he really deserves it. Dr. Butch deserves it.
Sa iyang pagkatao, grabe ang iyang faith sa God. Kaya ang iyang pinaka number 1 sa iyang kinabuhi is ang Ginoo. Baga iyang ginhimuto ang ikaduha, iyang pamilya, ikatulo ang iyang trabaho. One of the distinct character that I really admire to President Cultura is sincerity, but aside from that, having a strong vision of the school future. Ang pinaka-experience ginako as nako sa iya as a driver. Na ay one time nga in the middle of the night tungod sa isa ka problema nga na ay isa ka tawo nga nangahiog tambag o nagpatabang sa iya bisan pa man sa wala na sa oras, pero iya ra gyud adtuan o among giadtuan tabangan niya ang isa ka tawo nga masulbad ang iyang problema. Nga na siya ka sincere, nga na siya ka sincerity sa iyang mga ginsakupan diri sa university.
Through Innovation Forum and events, this helped opened more doors to the university to collaborate and partner with the different industries, private and public agencies, academic and community.
I find him very simple, not knowing that he has this kind of remarkable, shall we say, highest degree of intelligence. He is hands-on because there was a time that there was a power failure sa classrooms, offices, nag-trip off ang electricity. I saw somebody came out from the electrical room. To my surprise, it was Dr. Ambrosio Cultura, who successfully troubleshoot the power trip off. No, I told myself, he's not only on theory, but he can also do things. So that time na believe kay ko sa iya, sayo naman ko sir kay istorya. Dili kay ka matahaan, he's not the kind of person nga medyo arrogante, dili yun. So kung makita na ako karon, kinsa siya as president, most na akong nakita lugar sa una nga he did not change, only the position. All I can say to Dr. Boots is I salute for what he's doing, not only for himself, not only for USTP CDO, not only for the faculty, not only for the personnel, not only for the satellite campuses, main campuses, but for the whole stakeholders community na makabenefit yun sa output sa university. And above all, to practice things in accordance with what is godly in the eyes of man and much more in the eyes of God.
We are very fortunate that our University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines provide us a tablet and load assistance for our studies. It's such a big help for us students, especially for those parents who lost their job during this pandemic. On behalf of my classmates, University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines, thank you for giving this opportunity and privilege for us students to experience the quality and free education.
Kuan ma'am, bless kay ko nga inana kanang ang USTP is wala nila nalimtan ang mga panginahanglan ng isip ko sa estudyante nila. Last time naka-receive ko og load assistance. Tapos karon dayon naka-receive ko kog tablet. Magpasalamat lang ko sa USTP ma'am as gihatag nila o gibuhat nila ang tanan para matagaan mi og kanang mga gamit para sa online class o masolusyonan ang mga problema nga among ginaatubang isip sa mga estudyante nga dili kay nga nay mga gadgets nga sakto.
Actually ma'am, at first grabe gid kay kalisod because we don't know, like this is a new approach to us, no? Like what should we do during this time na we are doing flexible learning na online ta and then we need to to cope up para aning situation. And then I am very thankful po sa ato ang administration, especially the CITL. They conducted seminars, webinars, series gyud to, no, na about flexible learning to help us adopt flexible learning. Also the DICT, no, the apply gid nila, and with that it helped me to adapt the flexible learning nga ako ma-teach ako mga student.
Ang balubal gitagaan og tablet sa USTP. So isa pud to sa takog tabang sa amua as a student kay sa una galisod gid may kanang sa connection. Paghatag sa tablet dito may nakakuan nga oy sada di gyapon online kay ang USTP naghatag gyapon tablets. Bisag kamo mga silingan dagan nag-ingon nga sada ang USTP kay sa bisag public siya. Dako kayo nga akong pagpasalamat sa USTP Balubal ug sa libre nga tuition nga ilang gihatag sa mua. Daw kay tabang og sa nagmugna niini University System President, Dr. Ambrosio Cultura II, and also Campus Director, Dr. Dennis Apuan, and sa faculty and instructor, daghan kayong salamat.
Since I don't have any gadgets, the university also helped me to through sa pag-print sa mga modules, sa pag-provide sa mga printed modules so that I can continue sa pag-answer sa mga activities na kailangan ako tubagon. In the midst of the pandemic, I was able to continue to gain knowledge, acquire skills, and discovering new things. At first, I thought that I would not be able to do it and that I owe to the school because they never stopped providing their good quality service to us. And as a student, I will always be grateful for their hard work and perseverance.
My dear colleagues and my dear stakeholders in this university, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all from our janitorial services, job orders, different delivery units, chancellors, vice presidents, vice chancellors, deans, directors, heads, teaching and non-teaching personnel, alumni, students, and all other stakeholders for your all-out support in this administration. We are just less than a year, as I mentioned, but we have accomplished many things. And that is because everyone works together. And I believe we can accomplish more if we continue working together. Thank you.